never know when the thing actually goes live, but I'm sure we're live right now as the camera adjusts. Hello, everybody. As you drop in, give us a like, drop in, say hello. Let us know you're here. I am here with the amazing Alyssa Begay.
Oh, we are now live.
So, we are now live, alright? So, technology is so fun. I am here with the amazing Alyssa Begay, and drop in when you get in, guys. When you say, when you drop into the live, give us a comment, say hello, let us know you're here. Drop your questions for Alyssa about whatever questions you have about community, okay? Where to get started, what to do, what action steps to take. I have cats are fighting over here, so sorry about that. All right, I'm super excited to dive in today, Alyssa. So just to give you guys an idea, here is some things we're gonna go over. We're gonna talk about how Alyssa has gotten involved with her community, what that looks like, and what action steps she took. And how you can do the same, all right? We're even going over what if you're introverted, right? I don't like to talk to a lot of people. What can I do? How can I still get involved? All right, she also has a super cool YouTube channel, so if you have questions about that, please drop them below. All right, ready to get started?
Yeah, sure,
Okay.
let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, Alyssa, who are you? Who the heck are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. My name's Alyssa Begay. I am from the Nan Nation is what we call it, which is also known as Navajo Nation. We span across 4 different states, and that's the reservation I'm talking about. I am Salt Clan, born from Mud Clan. My maternal grandfather is nearby Running Water, and my paternal grandfather is Towering House. And what that sounds like in Navajo is Yat Alyssa Begay Inshe Ashinashno Heshkashni Beshishchi Tabahashiche Ki Ani Deshinale.
Beautiful.
Thank you, and that's just kind of like how we do properly introduce ourselves, because that's how we are known and that's who we are. So I'm from the San Juan County area. I am in probably my 13th month of real estate. No, 14th month of real estate. So I got my license officially in May, and I joined the team in May. But I had been training with my team since for a while, just trying to get into the real estate game and learn what I could before it actually started. So yeah, I took a different approach to real estate. I felt like, as opposed to doing a transaction after one another, kind of like a revolving door, I wanted to capture the relationship in it. And you hear a lot of gurus talk about the relationship and what that means for business. So pretty much all realtors know it, but I wanted to go and engage it at like a deeper level with my community. So what that meant was I felt like I had to be another person at first and try to fit myself into these little squares, but ultimately I realized like real estate is pretty much community service, no matter what, even to cold calls. You're calling sellers or FSBOs asking like, what can I do to help you? So that's pretty much community service. And once that clicked, I started to become much more involved in the community. I found a group that is actually specializing for the marketing for our town. So you go to Las Vegas or Denver, you'll see like signs that say come visit Farmington.
Yeah.
So I decided to join that group because obviously that's like a large group of people you're reaching, and I felt like if I'm involved there, I'll be able to like break off into smaller groups that I feel need help and see where I can fit in.
I love that. Yeah, that's where I met you at Rock. I mean, you've always found a way to be involved in the community, right? Like when I met you at Rock at our brokerage that I used to work at, right away, even before you had your license, you were getting involved, right? In the real estate community. What can I do? And I remember when we switched to another brokerage, right away, how can I get involved, right? You joined the clubs and you became a voice for whoever whoever you're joining, right?
Yeah.
That's really cool. So tell us more about how it's benefited, being involved in the community. How has that benefited you in your personal life and in your business? Because I'm sure you've seen some benefits mentally, right? And in your personal life as well. So tell us more about that.
I think I would call it spiritually more so than much. For my heart, it makes you feel really good when you're making a difference in somebody's life. It makes it feel even better when you know that the group is not gaining a whole lot of traction, doesn't have a whole lot of support. So when you breathe the life into it and get other people excited and motivated, that does a lot for my spirit. It makes me feel a lot happier that I'm not only helping this person or individual, but I'm on a larger scale showing people that if you're of service to your community will help you in turn in your business.
Yeah.
And you see that a lot with like mom and pop diners, for instance. They, the meatloaf, we've had the same meatloaf for 5 years. And it's that loyalty that you kind of create within your brand. But I took the community approach mainly because I honestly wanted to do something other than cold call and bother people. I felt like if I'm actually serving my community, that shows people that one, I'm committed to, I'm not just always trying to pursue that sale. I actually have a heart.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Right. Because when you're coming from that community approach and having that community mindset, I mean, people can they just know, right?
Yes.
They can feel that. Beautiful. So that's how it's benefited you spiritually. All right.
Yes.
So that it's helped you there. So what about your business? What direct results have you seen as far as your business, your real estate career?
So my business, my team is based out of Albuquerque, and a lot of the branding and such that they have surrounding their location is great. In Farmington, I'm a little bit separated, so I just kind of have to create that energy myself. And doing that, I felt like community service was the fastest and easiest way because the team I'm on has a lot of initiatives they do for the unsheltered, for kids, for families, they for veterans even, and all of those programs. I was thinking like if I just shout this very loud at the top of buildings, people will feel like there's hope, there's care, there's somebody aside from themselves that cares about the community. And I was right. I actually got let me see, my first year I did 8 deals, and 2 of those were from referrals. So it was just kind of based off of my work in the community. And even after all of those had closed, I still reach out with like little reminders of like, hey, this is happening for the 4th of July. Don't forget.
Love it.
Yes.
That's awesome. Cool. All right. So give us examples. So you've already talked about how you were part of the marketing. I'm about to have to take these cats out. They're crazy. Yep. All right. So we're gonna take the cats out, and we're just gonna keep talking because that's how we roll. Ronnie, hi. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you. Thank you. So Alyssa, give us examples of how you, if you were a new agent, okay, what can you tell any new agents or anybody watching this who wants to get involved in their community? What are some action steps? How can they do it?
Okay. So first I went to the Chamber of Commerce. I went ahead, and the Chamber of Commerce always has like smaller groups within it. Oh, it's so cute. There's one called the Four Corners Professionals Group. So stepping back and not just thinking about community work, if you're thinking about like sources of like your sphere, building up your network, you want to get in touch with other professionals, maybe not always in real estate. So the Chamber of Commerce always has some sort of component with professionals because obviously they want people to network within that community. So I went there, and from there I met much more people. I also, like I said, I got involved in a bigger advertising group that was for the community. And then I did stuff I was actually interested in. So gardening is something I feel like I have a passion for. I joined a local group and ended up becoming a part of like a women's shelter by extension, not becoming part of it, but becoming a resource for them. We started talking about like classes for how to start building your credit with Medicaid. And that's a class that I'm going to be teaching the ladies whenever they get some more momentum there.
Cool.
And that just it helps your spider web of people grow. And it was all from going from the Chamber of Commerce and then becoming as involved as possible. And sometimes, like, I picked up trash, and that was my very first event. I took my camera out, and that's a big important thing, Ronnie, if you're listening. Take your camera out, get out in front of the people. What you want to show the public, the general public, is that you're busy all the time. Doing what? Either real estate stuff, or are you being a person in your community giving back? And people want to see it. You may think, like, I don't want to show myself, my camera. You don't have to show yourself. Just point it away from you and talk. Or you can do a quick selfie. We all know, like, the filters get rid of the double chin. As long as you're showing the community that you're at a place, you're a trash pickup, and it's important to you, and it will just grow from there. Honestly, it turns into a snowball effect because people are drawn to your energy. You're excited about giving back, and they want to be a part of it. So you kind of grow like a team of supporters behind you that are like, yes, I know all of these realtors. My mom is even a realtor, but Alyssa cares about animals and cares about domestic violence, and she wants to stop it. So I'm going to go to her event. Maybe they won't use me, but you know what? Maybe that's going to show other realtors that they could join the community and they could give back in more ways than just real estate.
Yeah, and I really it's really still hitting me what you said earlier, like, real estate is customer service, right? So much of our job, we do so much more for free than we ever get paid for.
Yes.
Right? And that's kind of part of the beauty of what we do is we get to give, and there's nothing better than giving. So, once you get into this loop, this I'm giving, and that feels good, and then you're in a better mood, and then you're a better mood around your clients, you're more productive, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just this loop that's keeps on going. I love it. Okay, so what if you're introverted? So let me ask you this: are you introverted or extroverted? How do you identify introverted or extroverted?
I feel like I'm extroverted in general, but when I was very new into the business, obviously imposter syndrome, right? So I would have considered myself an introvert, but it was one of those things that the team I'm on was just kind of like, you need to, go deep and take that out.
Yeah.
There's no fear that can be involved. And that's just good real estate practice in general, is that you cannot, whether you like to or not, the money is out there, and you can't just expect for it to fall in your hands. You have to actually work for it. Part of the work is pushing yourself to be uncomfortable. So in the beginning, I was very uncomfortable. I felt very like an imposter. It's hard to be excited about something you don't really know about, or you don't understand the process fully. You only know what you learn in school and based off of like podcasts and what you hear, but over time I feel like I just kind of accepted it and realized other realtors who got their license the same time as me probably don't know anything either, and then the older realtors, they don't have like that I shouldn't say older, the seasoned realtors have their business kind of already set up and it's been going, but it's like, if they see the excitement in another realtor, it's like, I want to be close to them, I want to try to help them. And honestly, that's how I feel like I got to where I am. I got recommended I was encouraged to get into a leadership class for my community, and that's based off of like all of the work I've done, and that recommendation kind of came from like one of the top realtors in Farmington. So to be recognized by your peers as somebody who's actually caring about the community and want you to like go further, that was very touching to me, and it makes me feel like as realtors we're doing much more than just the transaction. We have the ability financially to make a difference in our community, and if you don't want to do that, then by providing service, other people will recognize it and it will get them excited.
Yeah.
Sorry, I think I went off the question.
No, I mean that's every single answer, Alyssa, is just on point and so full of value. So I hope you guys are really taking this and digesting it, because gold, absolute gold. So you really just summed it up there. Even if you're introverted, even if you feel like you're out of place, because I'm sure you felt out of place, right? That's part of that imposter syndrome, is I don't feel like I belong here. It's it's just nerve-wracking. How long did it take? Was there like a turning point? Was there a pivotal moment, or what was that process like for you, where you were finally like, you looked around and said, you know what, I'm comfortable here?
You know what? Honestly, I didn't feel that truly until maybe a month ago. Although I've been in the business this long, I was driving to a team meeting here, and I realized like I am comfortable right now. Like I feel very secure in myself, and I've never felt like that, like in business and even in life. But like I know that the mindset you have to have as a realtor is like a strong one. So I've never been this strong mentally, spiritually, emotionally ever in my life. And I know it's because of real estate, and it has to do with the direction I decided to go, which was with my heart first. And I lost the question.
That's pretty much it. Is really just
Oh, how long?
how long.
So, yeah, how long it took. It took that long, but for the most part, to find myself and to find my voice to become an extrovert was probably a matter of like 2-3 weeks, because again, nobody knows what you do unless you make noise. So it's just up to you to kind of bear down.
Yep.
And the longer you take, the longer it takes your business to take off. So once that was kind of embedded in my head, it was like, do everything I can to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, obscurity is going to be one of our biggest problems. So anything you can do, I mean, your job is to make sure everybody in Farmington thinks Alyssa real estate, Alyssa real estate, right? And
yes.
that's what you're doing. I love it. Okay, so what about making the time? I know a lot of this you have to be in person, right? When you have multiple transactions going on, when you have a family, when you have all of these things requiring your attention, how do you carve out the time? How do you maybe even justify, which I shouldn't use the word justify, but what for somebody who needs that, what can you say to that?
I think that just like everything in real estate, you have to block your time out for it. So in the course of a week, during the beginning, like on a Sunday, I'll look at my schedule and see if I have any community meetings. I try not to let it exceed 4 to 5 hours. Even if it's like 2 meetings, I know like afterward there's follow-up work. So I just try to keep it below 5 hours a week. A lot of the stuff is in person, but that's another opportunity to get in front of people. So you're marketing yourself consistently. I am now at the point when I walk into that meeting that is for the advertising of Farmington, I walk in and everybody knows who I am.
That's awesome.
So that just happened 2 meetings ago, where I realized I'm walking in late, I am tardy, and everybody's like, hey Alyssa, I'm like, how's your mama?
That's awesome.
Like, how you doing? So yeah, it's just another opportunity to be in front of people. So I always, it's actually built in my schedule of talk to the public, it says something much different, but it is talk to the public, be with the public. So I carve out 3:30 to 4:30 with that, and
cool.
If the meeting is like earlier in the day, I just kind of switch it. So that plus prospecting and CRM, just like everything, it's built into my schedule.
I love it. Be with the public. That should be a hashtag. If that's not
Tattoo
hashtag,
right here.
be with the public. I love it. Cool. Okay, so making the time, you just do it, right? You just make the time. Put it in your schedule. Put all of your priorities in your schedule. I mean, I'm serious. If I do so bad at laundry because it's not in my schedule, you know what I mean? I gotta put it in there if I want to get it done. Awesome. Okay, so we're about to wrap up here. Before we get to wrapping up, I want to talk more about your YouTube channel. Video, guys, if you have not seen the conversion stats on video, it is insane. And I'm not talking about 50% increase in conversion. I'm not talking about 75. I'm not even talking 100 increase in conversion. It's over 400% increase in conversion with video. All right, so if you are at all in a rut and need some more momentum and more traction, one thing you can immediately do is video. Anybody can do it anytime, anywhere. I have seen so many videos with girls who have hair like just not even just done. This even almost looks good.
It looks good.
It looks good.
You did it. Get ready with me, Erica edition.
All right, so I mean, it doesn't matter what you do, what you look like. Nobody is thinking that way. All right, so whatever you can to eliminate the fear, the best way to eliminate the fear is what?
Just do it.
Just do it. All right, so can you please give us some ideas, like mistakes mistakes or things to know before starting a YouTube channel? Well, first off, what is your YouTube channel and how can people find it and what is it about? What is the focus?
Okay, so my YouTube channel is called Alyssa Begay. I wanted to make it very general. I didn't want to tie my team name into it for this reason. My YouTube channel is about business, real estate, and life. I made it so broad because my team is here in Albuquerque. I am living in Farmington. San Juan County is my area, but I'm licensed in New Mexico, so I obviously don't want to like limit myself. Even statewide, I'm involved in much larger nationwide groups that are like for, I don't know, LGBT, women in real estate, those type of things. So if I decide to make videos that are outside of New Mexico, it's not like disturbing anybody.
Yeah.
So there's 2 other Alyssa Begays on YouTube. You'll see mine. Smiling really big with an orange circle around me, so I kind of tried to stand out. And when you start your YouTube, I think it's important to figure out what your goals are. I initially started with trying to make my channel one of those that are very consistent, very real estate focused and driven, and kind of gaining viewers. What I realized is that after a while, the general public does not care about real estate. Like I would love to talk real estate all day, but they don't. So another thing people want to know about is like, what is it like to live in your town? What do you yourself like to do? What is the community like? And so that's where I started thinking about these groups that I'm a part of. A lot of people don't know what type of missions they have because Farmington, first of all, is such a small town. But if you're a part of a group that doesn't have a lot of support behind it, then you're not going to get too far with it. So I'm thinking like, I have this platform. I've built up a lot of followers on Facebook, Instagram. I'm trying to do that with TikTok. And just the network I have, if I tell people like, check out this travel agent, she's a great travel agent. And I bring that person's information out to my team here. If all of us are going to Las Vegas and need a travel agent, that's 10 G's she makes, So it's all about like supporting your smaller community and bringing it out. So I do my videos to kind of give people a voice, but I also do it to show them this is part of my life and my market, and I'm sharing it with you in case you decide to move to Farmington or in case you want to do something like me, and maybe you can do it better. Everybody can always improve. So if you guys want to check out my YouTube, please do. If you have any suggestions, send it to me directly or just comment below, and I would really appreciate your supporting me with a subscribe.
I love it. All right, so tell us some of the businesses, some of the videos that you have to give people an idea of what they can include in their channel.
Okay, so I've been waiting for this. One of my videos I'm making right now is for a taxi company. They used to be part of they had this logo that had big luscious lips on it, and it was all profit. So a nonprofit went and bought the taxi company as like a way to fund them as additional money. So they got away from that big luscious lip logo, and now they're called Let's Go. So what their struggle is a lot of people were used to this other taxi service, and there's a small town, so there's only 2 taxi services. And they're always calling this place up like, where's the big luscious lips at? And people are like, that's not the case anymore because we're not profit. That place is all profit. What we're doing is running a nonprofit and using this to drive it. So, okay, 1, that's a very unique video in itself because it's a whole lot of information that the public, 1, probably doesn't know about, and 2, because they don't know, they don't care. So it's really important, I think, for people to think about where are you selecting your taxi service. Is that money going into the person's pocket, or is it driving programs? So that's part of what I'm doing. Another one is for the Kiwanis Club. Kiwanis International, their whole focus is about kids and giving back. So right now they have a program in Shiprock, which is a community that I came from on the Navajo Nation, is Title I schools. So these are schools that are underserved. A lot of times they need a free lunch program like for everybody. In general, the reservation's kind of an hour away or so from resources. So I mean, I'm not saying the schools are bad or anything, I'm just saying they have programs that allow for groups to come together and provide like jackets or shoes, or they even have a program where they take kids to Target and shop for school clothes for $100. And the Kiwanis International is behind that purpose. So I made two videos for them, and they were about events. One was a pancake breakfast for Father's Day, and the second one was a downtown historical walk.
Oh, cool.
So that doesn't,
really cool.
that doesn't talk about the purpose behind it, what they're doing it for. It just talks about like this cool pancake breakfast that they could put on, this cool like historical downtown walk, and in the meanwhile, as I'm helping drive people to their events, I'm helping them raise money for kids. Therefore, I'm helping my community. So by extension, I'm always thinking like, not what do I get out of this, but what does my community get out of me?
I love that.
I know, I almost cried.
That's amazing. I mean, I'm telling you guys, she's the best. She's the best. All right. So, man. Okay. So if we, let's say you had to start your YouTube channel from scratch today, what would be the first 3 things that you did to be efficient and to create quality content?
You want to think about the quality content, what your consumers are going to do. So coming from my community, I don't know any other realtors. I know a couple people who own their houses, but it's kind of like your taxes. You don't ask the people, so like, how did you get your house, you know? So what my whole goal and focus is to take what I know about myself and my sphere and project that outward and make videos to fit that. So questions like, what's the cost of living in Farmington? What do I need to know as a buyer? And if I'm a FSBO, what do I need to do, like, to sell my house? And so you're very strategic about it, and even much more so than that, success in a YouTube channel really comes from it's called search engine optimization, and that's thinking about keywords. So for instance, if you're looking up the next 10X program, you just type in, well, maybe not 10X, real estate coach in Albuquerque. You're gonna have dozens, right? But you wanna make sure Purple Elephant's at the top. So the way you do that is by everything you do, hashtag Purple Elephant. And then especially when you're doing things like collaborations with other people, because you're growing your web and you're capturing much more people. So standard engine optimization is doing research on what your keywords are. So it sounds like a lot, but once you actually get into the process, that's what really drives your viewership, because you can make a movie or you can make a video and somebody can watch it, but like, how are you guaranteeing that somebody outside of your sphere is watching it?
Right.
So that's where you open it up in general terms. Living in New Mexico, community, what does that mean?
Okay.
So the idea is for whenever anybody's typing in real estate San Juan County, because I'm all over the place with all of these Kiwanis groups, pancake breakfasts.
Yes.
I'm just up at the top.
Yes.
So that's how you become successful in real estate, and it's all just a patience and consistency game. I've not posted a video for probably 3 weeks, and I fell off of it, but that's just like everything else in real estate. You just got to take it with a grain of salt, and you either get back up on it or just let it fall, and that's not what Blue Horse does.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, dude, Blue Horse. Okay, please tell us the story of Blue Horse Real Estate, because I just love the story so much.
Erica gave me the idea, that's why. No.
Well, I do love it.
Right? Well, I just got my license, and I was talking to Erica. Erica was still coaching at Rock Real Estate Partners, and we had a class called Defy. So at the very end of it, we would kind of talk about things that we are doing in our business that we kind of need help with. So I told Erica, I heard this thing is called an LLC, and like, what do I need to do? And like, do I just call it, I don't know, Alyssa and Rock or something? And she was like, no, like, what does it mean to you? And I was like, well, can I use my name? And she's like, yeah, but it has to mean something to you and to other people. So I don't remember the exact phrase of the question, but it was like, what do you want people to get out of your business? And I started to think like way back. Blue Horse is the surname of my grandpa, and everything he did was community based, like me, or I'm like him. And him and my grandma both kind of worked it out in the community to where if somebody had a kid they didn't want anymore, if somebody was hungry, if somebody needed prayer, or they were going to be in the area at midnight and needed a place to stay. They always knew they could call my grandparents, and that's just who the community sought out. So what I learned from my grandpa was to, to work hard. He was a farmer, great heart, had a lot of integrity and a lot of honesty, and I don't think there was ever an instant where, he wasn't like that. So I really wanted to pay some sort of tribute to him and leave a legacy in his name, because I felt like that was who I thought of, a male figure should be, somebody that you could trust and is so knowledgeable and faith-based. So my grandpa had a big influence in my life, and I wanted to give back. So I told Erica Blue Horse, and she was like, there you go, that's your name. So we went Blue Horse Realty NM.
I love it. That's such a good story.
Erica totally did it. I probably would have been lame with Alyssa Begay.
Oh. Blue is so powerful. Blue horse, right? You need a blue horsepower. Like, what can we come up with like blue horsepower? Like, does your real estate engine have blue horsepower?
All right.
Think of something like that. All right, Alyssa. Well, I thank you so much for sharing this gold. I mean, absolute gold. I have a lot to learn. I have a lot to schedule onto my calendar so I can start implementing some of these things. I like to be a hermit crab, so I'm like the complete opposite. So I'm just in admiration of how you are just so out there, and I want to be like that. I want to grow up and be like you.
Yeah, well, just like everything else, nobody knows but you. You're your worst critic.
Yeah.
And just like real estate, nobody tells us what to do. We just kind of make our own path.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing you have to accept, if you're feeling scared to be in front of the camera, is nobody cares. At the end of the day, only thing that matters to you is all the people that are scared to make that first step. You're going to encourage them, you're going to motivate them. And now I know people who are like trying to do things that they're scared of doing, because they see me.
Yes.
And that's powerful. That's exactly what Blue Horse is for.
Dude,
so
creating movements.
Yes.
Dude, creating movements.
Thank you so much,
Erica.
Erica.
Thank you, Alyssa. All right, guys. Next week, I am going to have something for you, something awesome. So you've got to stay tuned. I'm going to give you the exact things you need to schedule into your calendar for the full 365 days to create exponential blueprints, okay? Exponential blueprints to create exponential profits. All right, I've got to end this live. I'm going crazy. All right, guys, thank you so much. Say bye to Alyssa.
Bye.
Oh.